Nedbank Cup. Coach, thanks for joining us. Maybe we can just get your opening remarks heading to the match. I'm sure you've had, I think, your last training session in Johannesburg at least. But yeah, what can we expect come Saturday? And maybe in that you can also summarize maybe the in terms of availability of players come Saturday. I know no one is suspended, but maybe in terms of injuries, if there is anyone who's out. Thank you, Coach.
Good afternoon. Well, yeah, here we are again. Another final, another extra week. A very, very, as you can imagine, exciting week. It's the last week of the season. It's a week that itself used to be very emotional for each and every team, each and every group. It's our last week together. Groups are always different from one season to the other, and we have the opportunity, like you said, to defend one of the trophies that we got the last season. It's for us is a massive opportunity again. Represent Pirates in another final. Is the fourth one in a row against a team like Mamelodi Sundowns. Last game of the season. I think is a very special occasion for every football fan in the country, in the continent, I'm sure. And from our side, just focus, concentrate in the things that we know that we need to do if we want to be the winning team in the end. And with the responsibility and the commitment with the game, with the football, knowing that there's going to be a lot of eyes on us, and our responsibility are basically to give our all, players on the field, we as a technical staff to try to help them to be in their best version and to offer a good show. If there's going to be a lot of people watching us, we want to make sure that we can offer a good one, and in the end of the game the people is hoping for more. So that's all. It's going to be a very important day in the season calendar for, like I said, for every football fan in the country, and we want to be at the level that a game like that requires.
Thank you very much, Coach. Let's take questions from the floor. We should have some roving microphones. Just take the first round of questions. Looking for hands. Okay, we can pass the mics. Okay, Nello, please be mindful of the cameras at the back. Okay, Mazola, you can go first.
Okay, afternoon, Coach. Mazola from SABC Sport. What sort of tempo can you expect from these two sides? Obviously, you met in the earlier cup competition in October. I think it was quite early in the season. Maybe players still adjusting in terms of their fitness levels and that. And then now, the last game of the season can tend to be a little bit leggy, signs of fatigue. How have you managed that, and what sort of tempo do you think we can expect from the two sides?
Look, I think the final we played in the end of the last year was really affected by the weather conditions, the wind in that game for both teams. But anyway, I think it was a decent rhythm. The game we played in Pretoria in February, I think that was a proper football match in terms of pace. Both teams, I think, was over the average that the games used to be in the league, to be honest. Two good sides, well prepared, knowing each other with that level of players that we're going to see on Saturday on the field. The only thing that I can expect, even though it's the last game of the season, I don't think there's going to be fatigue. Sundowns is a side really used to play games in a short space of time and delivering fantastic performances. After them, I think we are the team with more games in the season as well, and we also used to play. So I think both teams, both sides are doing a really good job to keep the players in a good form. And this is a final. There's nothing else after this. I think everybody knows the relevance of the match for many different reasons. So there's not going to be fatigue at all. I think we both are ready to play 90 or even more than 90. 5 subs, quality on the bench. Wherever you look in both benches, there's going to be quality players ready to go. So they are capable. I think both teams, we are capable to keep a high tempo, even if we have to play an extra time because of the level of the players that we both are going to have on the bench. So we know that it's a team that forces you to play in a different rhythm than the games that we used to play, like I said, in our league. I think we managed to do it anytime we have the opportunity to face them, and they know that we are capable to do it. So it's gonna be a game that will demand the best version of both teams, in my opinion. I remember post-match interviews from both side players after the game in Pretoria, and the things that the players were highlighting there was basically about the rhythm that the game was played. So I don't expect anything else than a really high tempo game on Saturday.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take the next question. We've got Benjamin.
Coach Benjamin Yurenda Sokaladuma. Coach, Sundowns have just lost one game in the league, which was the last game of the season in the league. Going to this game, do you think it comes at the right time where maybe their morale is a bit down because they lost their first game in the league, or it comes at the wrong time because they would want a revenge?
I wish I could be in that side that we only lose one game per season. To be honest, I don't think how being almost invincible can affect your morale. I think it's a champion team. What can I say? Only one lost in the season. It's a team. The team is the players and the technical staff, of course, but we're talking about, like I said several times already, because we faced them many times since I arrived here. It's a very mature team, very mature team. For me, is the biggest strength in that squad, and I don't think they're gonna be affected at all because they lost the last game. Probably it's gonna be a boost for them because they used to win, so probably something that they didn't like it. And but again, once the ball is rolling, is 22 players there, good players, well prepared. They're not gonna be affected by anything else than the things that are happening there right now. And I think we both have time to assimilate our last results, our last achievements. We have one full week to prepare the games, and the focus is gonna be in those 90 or 120 minutes that we have to play.
Okay, let's move on to Jabulo. I've noted Temba. Is that a hand, Lorenzo? You just have the mic.
Just have the mic.
Oh, okay.
Jabulo from News 24. My question, Coach, what is it about this game that brings out the best out of these two teams? And having faced them several times, as a football person, what is it that excites you the most about coming up against such a team?
Personally,
Yeah, the second part is personally. The first part is, what is it about this game that brings out the best out of these two teams?
So the first part is, what is it about this game that brings the best out of the both teams?
that brings. Okay, sorry, I didn't understand. Many things. I think we could agree easily that right now is the top game that you can play in this country, right? I think that, and the players knows, both sides knows about the difficulty of the task. So whoever really wants to win this final must apply himself in his best version one more time. Otherwise, we're not gonna make it, or they're not gonna make it. It's simple, and I think both sides know. So that's what really matters. What the players are going to do on the field, and they know that they need their best version on Saturday. Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult. It's a football game, man. Everything can happen. Sometimes you don't deserve it and you get it. But in a final, that scenario, I don't really think so. So it's an opportunity to challenge them, for them to challenge us again in a final. The last time it didn't work well for them, it worked better for us. So there's a lot of components that will give the game. I think it's gonna be a special one. And personally, I'm aligned with my players, with the club, with the same objective. There's nothing personal for me, or any personal ambition more than being a final again with my team, have the opportunity to collect another trophy for the club. And the most important in the end, what we do, it's very important for millions in this country. So we have the opportunity to make our fans happy one more time. And the way to do it is give our all. That's what they are expecting from us. The results, you never know, but our performance is in our control, and that's what we are going to try. We're going to run not an extra mile, as much as the game is asking to do, because we really want it.
Okay, you covered Javulo. Okay, let's move on to Temba. Get the mic.
I'll use this one, alright, that's fine. Temba Shabalala, Joseph from Sports Coach. Just looking at your body language, you're very pumped up, and even the way you speak, it tells me something is cooking in your camp. How big is the headache for you, looking at, taking from how you look, coming from the camp, your players? Just paint a picture of what happens there now, that this is one of the biggest finals we've ever seen in a long time, and that you're in charge of this, and you having an upper hand against Pirates in cup game, Sundowns in cup games, surely counts for something. Just take us through all of that.
I think I'm looking as usual. I mean, I'm alright. I have a role to play in this weekend, and I try to be as focused as possible in that role, and trying to be ready to help our players and the dynamic there within the game, and the players are feeling the same. I think we know. Maybe sounds like I'm not arrogant, but we are prepared. And we were in those scenarios already several times, luckily, and we feel prepared to put on the field what the game is going to ask. And we know it is in every game, but especially in these games, there's many games rolling at the same time during the 90 minutes. The capacity of both sides to understand what's happening in each and every game during the 90 or during the 120 is going to be key. So that's what we do during the week. We try to experience and absorb all of those moments that the game probably is going to ask us to do, understanding that, like I said, we are playing a fantastic side, and we're going to have moments that we are not going to be in control, moments where we're going to suffer, like it happens in the last two games we play against them. And our resilience is going to be important, our capacity to accept those moments and not being surprised, because, like I said, we used to be a team who is having 60-something% of possession, but probably in this game we're going to have to be forced to share the ball with the opponent as well, and we need to be prepared for that and not being surprised, and etc. Finals are different when you are leading or when you are not. Like I said, the extra times again, the contribution from the bench in both sides is going to be key. There's many components really interesting that so far keep us occupied with that. And in the camp, happiness. That's maybe the word. We're happy to be there on Saturday again. We were fighting to have the right to be there, and we got it. And I don't want to say we're going there to enjoy, because people will enjoy. The ones who are there on the field, we are we are on task. We will enjoy later, hopefully, one of the teams. But we really want to use the opportunity, not only be there. That's the mentality that we have in right now, and we're going to approach this final.
All right, next round of questions. Go to Tsepang, and I've noted Lawrence. Looking for more hands. Tsepang, you can go ahead. Okay, Neo.
Good afternoon, Coach. Tsepang from Sokaladuma. Coach, I'm sure you'd want to wrap this game up in 90 minutes, but how much preparation goes into a possible penalty shootout? You had your goalkeeper, obviously the cup competition earlier this season, doing well, but there's also a Ronwen Williams on the side of Mamelodi Sundowns who's proven to be quite the penalty saver this year, in whether it's AFCON or local football. So how much preparation goes into that, and what do you think of his penalty saving heroics in 2024?
Well, like I said before, it's one of the games that can be played if nobody managed to win the match during the game time. It's one of the scenarios, possible scenarios in a final. So, as usually, we try to prevent it, to have that experience during the week with the takers, with the ones that are going probably to be between the poles, having that responsibility. And it's also part of the dynamic within the group, within the technical staff, to analyze everything. In the past, we used to say that it's a lottery, but I think it's not a lottery anymore. It's one of the scenarios that you can prevent in advance, that you can train, that you can coach, advise, and on the day, I think that the previous work that you do during the week is gonna play a big role in that situation. And what can I say about Ronwen, about the performance of Chain in the last time that he was in that situation? And like you said, Ronwen during the season was showing the level that he has in his goalkeeping, which is it's something remarkable, of course.
Lawrence.
Coach, in so many times you mentioned that it's fourth domestic cup final. We won 3, but previously, before your rival Pirates were known to bottling finals many times. Is that just your coaching ability of winning finals, or is there newfound maturity in some of these players? Because you spoke about maturity in Sundowns players, but this is a once-off game, and you've won 3 previous finals. So is it you as a coach in your preparation for finals, or is it the maturity of your players that's also developing?
For me, it's a symptom of clear one, actually, that the things are going well in Pirates as a collective. You don't find yourself in 4 finals in a row by chance, or because you have a good day. Now we can discuss about the difference between cups and leagues and the famous consistency and all those things, but the team is showing that we have the capacity on the day to not only to beat any opponent. Is about overcome obstacles. During the process, the cups are very complicated because, like we are talking now about penalties, about extra times, about many different scenarios in this type of game, and the team is getting matureness during this process. We are playing a decent amount of young players who are having this type of experiences for the first time since the last season, and they are growing within these games, and it's something that we will for sure capitalize in the future consistently in every game. But I'm sure it's not that I don't think it's not about me. It's about our process, our commitment in this type of games. Maybe it was something else or something extra if we compare with some other games where we gave the result away in a casual way, let's say. But yeah, the cup games is usually, and especially here in this country, there's no 2 legs unless the semi-final in the MTN. Everything else is 1 game. So in that type of scenarios, the team is showing a fantastic capacity to overcome obstacles, like I said. And for me, the most important is what's going to come in the future when we capitalize all these experiences that we are having together. If in the middle of the way we can continue collecting trophies and playing finals, well, that's something fantastic.
Okay, next round of questions. I've noted John T. And then we'll go to Masep. Oh, Neo, okay. I think I've been unfair to Neo. His hand was up first. John T, I'll come to you next. Thanks.
Good afternoon, Coach. Neo Boho from KHD Radio. Coach, having finished second in the league, already having won the MTN 8, and now the Nedbank Cup. Provided you win this Nedbank Cup, would you then say this has been the best season for you, or would you then describe this as one of the greatest seasons you've had in the PSL era?
No, it's already the best one. Whatever happened on Saturday, in terms of the feeling that we have in the group, the football that we managed to display during certain moments of the season, what we can already see from now, it tells me that the season was really good in that sense. If we can put the cherry on the top, that's fantastic, and we really want to do it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm already satisfied and whatever happened on Saturday I'm fine. No, I'm not. But I'm not gonna how can I say, like, evaluate the season because of the next 90 minutes. Not at all. But again, it's a challenge to go there and play Sundowns in a final one more time for the group, and we want to really show what we are capable to do. And if that performance drives us to take the trophy one more time, fantastic. If it's not, we're not gonna be happy. We're not gonna be fine for a few days. But we know that the future is gonna be interesting for us for sure.
John T.
John T. Mark from the Citizen newspaper. Coach, we've just seen that 3 Pirates players, Sibisi, Mofokeng and Maswangani, have been named in the final Bafana squad. That sort of just happened now for the World Cup qualifiers next month. Perhaps specifically on Mofokeng and Maswangani, because we've seen Sibisi there before. We feel like this is just reward for their seasons in terms of now having a chance to play for Bafana.
What was the last sentence? Sorry.
Is it good reward for them for the season they've had with Pirates that they now have been named in the final squad for Bafana for the World Cup qualifiers next month?
Well, the national team list is the national team coach criteria, so that might be a question for Mr. Bruce. Obviously, I think Maswangani and Mofokeng, they are let's say the new kids on the block. They made an impact, an important one during this season. I think we're talking about 2 players that whichever team you support, you like to see them play football. Let's be honest. So I don't think that anybody is going to be surprised or not happy with their presence in the national team. Hopefully, they have the opportunity to be themselves there and make all of us proud, representing the Bafana squad. And everybody knows Sibisi and what is he capable to do, and he's professional in discipline and defensive rigor to contribute as well. So in Pirates, anytime somebody is called for the national teams, whichever national team, we are so happy. And obviously, as good as we can play, as better the results are, more people is gonna be looking at our players and in the middle of the 36 that we have to see which one can be useful for the in this case for the Bafana coach, his plans to get with the results.
Seven.
Coach, Masebe Klima from Sokaraduma. Mine was going to be a similar one to what John T just asked, but my focus was going to be more on Mofo Gang. How does a collab like this do to his confidence going into this match, and how do you make sure that he is not overconfident and just play his normal game like he has been doing throughout the season? Thank you.
Can you help me?
Yes, as we're saying, will this call-up give him more confidence into heading into the final, and also for him to keep his feet on the ground, basically, for the final?
Rele is exceptionally smart. I don't think it's gonna be an extra pressure or extra confidence. He just wants to play football, and that's what he must do. Just play. Everything else is a consequence of his performances. Nothing's coming for free. So he knows the road, he knows the way to do it, and if it's something coming from these calls or all the expectations, I think it's more confidence to play your own football. At the same time, obviously, it's also getting the attention of the opponents. So, as much as you are getting more, how can I say, like, more people talking about you, the opponent is always going to be more putting more attention on you as well. So you need to show that you can also overcome that obstacle, that new challenge when opponents are also planning because of you. And that's where Rele is right now, in that process of continue improving, continue developing his own football, trying to be more complete and little by little to be close to the football player that he can be, which is still coming.
All right, Coach, I think we're going to end it here. I don't see any more hands. Thank you very much. All the best for Saturday. We will end it here for the first half of the press conference. We will bring in the next coach shortly. Coach.